Life has a tendency to throw curveballs at you every now and then. Unpleasant surprises that will ruin your day and possibly make you go mad with anxiety, fear, and a heckload of stress. Surely it isn't fundamentally impossible to deal with such negative feelings and to keep your calm in any given situation. However, one must be armed with the right set of weapons, techniques, and strategies in order to do so. Wouldn't it be best if you could follow in the genius footsteps of someone like Ayanokoji Kiyotaka, a guy who's no doubt cool as a cucumber? Nothing ever comes close to disrupting the peaceful look on his face. Not ever. This has stood the test of time as he's been forced to face off against many formidable opponents throughout the series. These include the new chairman of the school in the latest season, fighting 1 versus 4 against Class C's fiercest fighters, and even when a fellow female classmate attempted to frame him for sexual harassment in the first season. In all these situations, Kiyotaka is always seen responding optimally, with a calm mind and a rational approach instead of panicking, shivering in fear, and basically making a fool of himself like many others might have. And so today's video is dedicated to carefully studying and analyzing all those 8 elite-level calming techniques and mindsets, which Ayanokoji has been using daily to keep his act together. Take those lessons to heart, and in due time, you'll surely be able to mold yourself into someone who's just as mechanically calm, collected, and even a bit robotic as our dearest Kiyotaka is. Doing so is undoubtedly essential because then, instead of shivering with panic or fear, you'll be able to rationally analyze any given issue and calmly strategize your way out of it. Without further ado, let's dig in. Well-read as he is, Ayanokoji is all about stoicism, which heavily revolves around the concept of not letting yourself be disturbed by things you have no control over. Basically, what he did is that he's forever engraved the phrase "que sera sera" in his heart, which when translated means whatever will be, will be. You see, controlling every single outside action, whether of man or of nature, is outside the scope of your human limits. What you can control and maintain a firm grip upon, though, is only the way you choose to react and respond to those external actions of others. Ayano knows this, and so should you. No point worrying and fussing over things you cannot control, right? Relax a little and always remember whatever will be, will be. Ayanokoji's insane level of emotional detachment from his surroundings reminds me of a Jiro Shinpei from the anime Summertime Rendering. What's most impressive about Shinpei is his bird's eye view. The thing is, when one is running around mindlessly on the ground, there's a heckload of dust particles of confusion flying around, disrupting your vision and hence blocking you from seeing reality the way it truly is. However, Shinpei's bird's eye view is a perfect counter against such disorientation of mind under pressure. In Shinpei's own words, here's what his bird's eye view is all about. For a long time, I've had this habit of stepping back from reality. It was like another me would float high above, watching me and considering my situation. It allowed me to see a lot. My surroundings, my own position. I'd never fail, or even if I did, it didn't register. Ayanokoji follows the same basic principles, which is why when a female fellow classmate attempts to frame him on false sexual harassment charges, instead of recklessly attacking her in a state of panic, and thus further digging his own grave, he rather chooses to think rationally and from a detached perspective. Such cool-headedness, along with the right dose of strategy, of course, is what ultimately allows him to remove the evidence and thus avoid being played by that jerk classmate's hands. Meditating within a serene atmosphere as the backdrop, containing a flowing river, gorgeous mountains, and evergreen trees, is cool and everything. However, there's nothing too impressive or even much to be gained in your ability to maintain room temperature at friggin' room temperature. Everybody's peaceful and calm when all around there's resonating peace and calm. But to be able to keep your cool and stay 12 degrees Celsius in a scalding hot environment of over 40 degrees Celsius. Talk about hotshot. Put simply, he who practices in a chaotic background can often remain more calm and composed than those who do so merely in quiet settings. The term poker face originates from the game of poker itself, where players must display master-level control over their facial expressions, as even the slightest smile or twitch of any facial muscle can result in their opponents figuring out their next strategy or move. Also, if you're hoping for a detailed guide on mastering the poker face, just say so down in the comments, and in time I'll be sure to do so. Effective strategizing and planning far ahead is the single greatest weapon in the arsenal of every great military general, politician, or businessman out there. Koji's no different. From Season 1 all the way to the latest Season 3, We've seen his enemies fall prey time and again to his insane strategic prowess. As someone once said, one excellent way to remain calm and keep your thoughts in order is by knowing what's coming up ahead and being exceptionally well prepared to handle whatever that is. Firstly, try writing down any complex issues that may be bothering you. After all, according to the infamous Kydland's law, if you can write the problem down clearly, then the matter is already half solved. Basically, what this does is allow you room to organize your thoughts. So instead of running circles in a mental rut, you clearly recognize what the issue is. Following that, of course, you can cook up a strategy to eliminate the root cause of your worries. Lastly, try your hand at strategy-influenced games, for instance, chess or Monopoly, since they shall heavily boost your analytical and strategic skillfulness. Knowledge of one's overwhelming strength, skillfulness, and ability has been known to keep one calm and confident. On the flip side, a lack of knowledge or strength breeds anxiety and fear. As Shinakuma said on a different occasion, ultimately it all boils down to one's own strength and ability. Never once has a lion been discovered shivering while surrounded by a herd of rabbits. And why would he? He's the king of the forest, and the king knows what he is. Jumpy and annoying though they might be, the rabbits nevertheless do not dare to excessively fuck around and find out whether or not the lion's canines and claws are just for show or otherwise. They simply aren't fooled by the king's graceful demeanor. Everybody already knows what horrifying violence the relaxed beast in front is capable of. Never let yourself be pressured into providing a hasty action or reply. According to Falkland's law, it's certainly best not to make a decision when you don't have to make a decision. Always think through your reactions and responses completely before reacting or replying. If others truly value what you've got to offer, they surely won't mind being patient for a while. Time for a little cosmology lesson. Surely you know that our Earth is one among the 8 planets in our solar system, surrounding our one and only star, the Sun. However, bet you didn't know that there are roughly 400 million stars, the same as our Sun, in our home galaxy, the Milky Way. What's more, there's about 2 trillion of such galaxies as far as our telescopes can observe, which scientists refer to as the observable universe. Horrifying digits, right? My desire wasn't to actually scare you, though, but rather to simply point out how the extent of one's own existence is extremely small, in comparison to the extent of everything else that exists. As Shinakuma says yet again, the scale of human existence is inversely proportional to the magnitude of our pride, egos, and our sheer ignorance. This might come across as harsh, but in the grand scheme of things, neither yours nor my own existence is really as significant as we'd both like them to be. For some, this knowledge can be a burden, a cursed reminder of our own insignificance. For me, it's a source of infinite relief, since it gives me the mindset where I do not have to overly stress upon the tiniest little details of our lives, whether happy or unpleasant, and instead allows me to truly enjoy having existed from a calm perspective. That's it for this video, my fellow productivity troopers. As always, drop a like and also smash that subscribe button if this kind of content tickles your fancy.